Thank you, Prabhuji. With this, I will request Amit Prabhu to give brief introduction for the Prabhuji. Then Prabhuji can begin his session. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Amit Prabhu, to you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna Atul Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So yeah, Hare Krishna dear youth, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga. A very warm welcome in this cold weather and a big thank you to all of you for joining Parsarthi Foundation Youth Classes. We are very fortunate that today we have His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhuji is along with us. He is going to give a special session for youth on the topic of become a master of your own life. It looks like a very interesting topic. Let's see. Although I am not eligible to speak anything about Prabhuji, but I will try my best to give a brief introduction about him. Prabhuji, if I will make any mistake while giving your introduction, please forgive me and also correct me. His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhuji was born in New Delhi. He just a second. Yeah. He completed his schooling and college education in Mumbai in science stream from Mumbai University. He decided to dedicate his life to serving humanity by propagating the message of scriptures, and to fulfill that purpose, he took up the life of a monk and joined International Society of Krishna Consciousness in Mumbai. After a few years, he moved to Belgaum, Karnataka and served for around 15 years there. He then took charge of new projects in 2014 at ISKCON Karwar, that is also Karnataka, India, and has served for about 6 years. Currently, he is based in ISKCON Greater Noida, New Delhi, India. He has been preaching the message of scriptures for last more than 20 years. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav and ISKCON disciple courses and teaches at Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education, Mayapur Institute of Higher Education, and he is famous for his Mahabharata and Ramayana discourses. The devotee community appreciate his lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam. Currently, Prabhuji is giving lessons on complete Bhagavatam and has completed up to 10 cantos. He also offers seminars on various topics like mind control, successful teaching skills, life after death, concentration, and memory power, etc. in different colleges and companies. He travels to many places like Goa, Mangalore, Bagalkot, Bangalore, Mumbai, and Vrindavan in India, and also visits abroad like Kenya, Uganda, Malawi, Botswana, Zambia, South Africa, Bahrain, etc. to deliver some seminars as a service to Lord Krishna and humanity at large. Let's welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now I'm requesting Prabhuji to take over the call and provide the nectar of today's topic to all of us, especially to youth. And I have one more request to all the youths and all the devotees. Kindly turn on your videos so that we will have an interactive session with Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Hari Leela Prabhu, for allowing me to be amongst all of you. Very grateful and happy to have your darshan. Also, I can see Pradyumna Prabhu. Please accept my obeisances. Actually, there's one thing when I come here, I feel really embarrassed to speak in front of seniors like all of you. That's why sometimes I avoid. Mataji tells me, can you come? I said no, because I know Hari Leela Prabhu, Pradyumna Prabhu will be sitting, and then I am speaking in front of them. So, but as a service, I'm just doing it. So please forgive me. And thank you, Amit Prabhu, for such a long introduction. And you could have just taken the points. I was thinking that maybe lecture is being given by me or by Amit Prabhu. I was not.
I will cut it short, Prabhuji, next time.
Yes, thank you. That introduction is for outsiders when we go.
Yes.
When we are amongst the devotees, just the name is enough, and maybe one or two lines. That's enough.
Okay, Prabhuji. I will make sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so before I begin, as Amit Prabhu requested, if I can see how many are here. Generally, I see most of you are, I'm able to see some of you, the others I'm able to see through the eyes of my heart, but not through these eyes. But that's okay. But I'll be happy if I can see you with these eyes also. And thank you for joining. I suppose this is a youth class, and most of the youths are not seen, or none of the youths are seen. But yeah, I know it's a very difficult thing for your youth to keep their cameras on, because they may be doing something which they don't want the people to know. So that I can understand. And that's the reason that all the cameras are off. But I'm requesting you can keep it on so that I can see whom am I addressing. At the same time, when we are going through this presentation, I request that you all can note down some questions. I will try to keep this presentation as brief as possible so that we can have some good question answer session later. I remember last time also I gave this youth class. Some of you were there, and and we didn't have much time for question answer. So I'll try this time to be brief, so we can have some time for question answers. And thank you, Mihika, and thank you, Rudra Prabhu, now to on your videos, and all others who have already on the videos. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are going to discuss today on a very interesting topic, how to become master of your life, which is a very important thing. Everyone wants to do it, but we do not know how to do it, or rather, sometimes we think we have done it, but it is all generally it's opposite, that we are not the master. So what is the meaning of being really a master of your life is important, not just to understand, but to follow it in the life. Many a times it happens that we continue to live our life thinking that whatever we are doing is correct, and we don't need any guidance because we are getting guidance from Google Guru or some other place. So we don't need guidance, and we have all the information where whatever we want just at the click of a mouse. So these things, and then what happens? We go on living our life like that, and then after years we come to know that we made a mistake. And in life there is no going back. You cannot go back to the time which you have already spent. That's why be very, very careful. Now, say we started at 7 o'clock, it's almost 7:15 now. Time is gone. Now we can't go back. Okay, let's go back to the 7 o'clock time. So that's the same thing happens with life. What happens with life is that we go on and on doing things that we are doing perfectly. And then when we reach at a certain point in our life and we realize that was our mistake, but then you cannot go back and you cannot reverse the thing which have already happened. That is why it is very important that we be very careful in our life. We don't commit any mistakes. Mistakes are okay, but blunders, such mistakes which can never be, you don't find solution for it. So be very careful in your life. And this is why mastering the life or becoming the master of your life is important, so that you don't regret in future. So let us start discussing. So today we will discuss a meaning of being a master. And are we the master or slave? That is our current position. And then who is a master? What are the qualifications for being a master? And then few steps to become master of your life. That's what we will discuss today. So when we talk about meaning of being a master in general, if you go to the dictionary and try finding the meaning. So generally a man who has people working for him is considered, okay, he's the master for them, especially if he has servants or slaves. Or sometimes a person who has complete control of something. See, when we are talking of this, sometimes it's okay, we are going to discuss about our life. Why this definition? They are very important. A person who has complete control of something is called a master. Or a man in charge of some organization or group, or a skilled person, he has mastery in this, they say like that. Or acquire complete knowledge or skill in a subject, in a technique, like, sometimes he's a master of that art or he's a master of that technique. So that means he has complete knowledge and he has acquired that skill. So this is important. So now when we talk of master of life, what is the meaning of being a master? We just heard meaning of being a master. Now master of life. So whatever we have just heard, if we take it out from there, so master of life will be the one who has acquired knowledge and based on that practices skills to control the life. If you are not able to control your life, what kind of master you are? And to control the life, you require knowledge. What is life and how to control it? And then it's not enough just to know the things, know the facts. The knowledge has to be practiced. So you practice it and then control the life. So that's the meaning of being a master of life. Now let's see. Are we master or slaves? It's an important thing to discuss because we think that we are master. We have everything. We have latest gadgets. We have all the information. We can do anything. We can communicate, sitting maybe thousands of miles away. Communication is just a click away. So we are master. We are controlling. You see, this technology which we have in present time, because of which we think we are advanced. People 100 years ago didn't know about mobiles. What kind of primitive people they were. If they had to talk from, say, India to US, it took them hours, to communicate, or to even by phone. It was very difficult. In many places, there was no facility. You could not call. So then we are thinking, yes, we have advanced. We have come out of those primitive things. But let me tell you what this technology was. There is a mention in Mahabharata that one time Arjuna, he helped Mayadana. There's the whole story. I'm not going in detail. So he helped Mayadana. And Mayadana was very happy. And Mayadana wanted to give something. So Krishna was there, Arjuna was there. So Mayadana said, I would like to give you something. You've done so much for me. I'm very happy. Okay, what would you like to do? He said, I would like to give you technology. And Lord Krishna said, no, don't do it. This is not for this yuga. This technology will come later in Kali Yuga. It's not, we are advanced right now. So that means this technology which was being given at that time, as per Krishna, was for people of Kali Yuga. They were highly advanced at that time. They didn't need it. And few examples of that. We are thinking that plane is like designed or, is made by Wright brothers or something. But we also hear about Lord Ramachandra. When he came from Lanka to Ayodhya, he came in a plane. And what kind of plane it was? Don't think that it was an ordinary plane, where if you have 200 people, 300 people, after that, not even one person can come. This plane was going as per the desire of the person. If the person says, okay, let's go left, go left, let's go right, go right. And not only that, there is a description that Lord Ramachandra sat on the plane, Sita Devi, Lakshman, and they said, okay, we are going. And then they said, Hanuman said, I would like to come and see your coronation. He said, okay, come. Hanuman came. And even Vibhishan said, I would like to come. He said, okay, you come. Then Sugriv came. And Sugriv said, see, all these monkeys, they've helped you so much. They were ready to give their life for you. So I feel that we should give them something. And Lord Ramachandra said, yes, tell me, what should I give? He said that, let's take them all to Ayodhya. That will be a nice gift for them. So Lord Ramachandra said, okay. So all the monkeys came, thousands and thousands and thousands of monkeys came. And then they were going, and then they came about Kishkinda, and they said, Sita Devi said, okay, take the plane down. Lord Ramachandra said, why? She said, I'm feeling very odd because I'm the only woman here and all others are men. So let's take it down and call all the wives of these monkeys. So then all the wives of these monkeys came, thousands and thousands, and the plane expanded. That was the technology. So that's why now we feel that because of this technology, we are actually the master. But let us try to understand, and we feel that by this, we can control everything. Karlo duniya muthi mein, as they say in Hindi. The Karlo duniya muthi mein means control everything. You are the controller. You can control the whole world. And because of that, we feel, yes, so we have gadgets, we have social media, we have everything where we think, yes, everything is going fine. So let us just see in brief the impact of all this happening. Because we are masters or we are slaves. So impact of social media or these all gadgets is attention span has reduced drastically. We are not able to have full attention. Like if I give you a 2-hour lecture, I'm sure 50% of you will not have some attention on it. So attention span has reduced a lot. That's the one thing. Memory. I remember that when mobiles were not there, we used to remember all the numbers of anyone. You have to call this person, okay, you remember the number. You have to call this. Now you don't even sometimes remember your own number. If somebody asks you, what's your number? You say, okay, I'll send you a message. I'll WhatsApp you or I'll send you by other means, right? Because we don't remember. There's so many numbers inside. I'm sure it's with all of you also, that you don't remember the numbers now. But just 50 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 20 years ago, I can say, the mobiles had not started around 20, 25 years ago, at least in India. People were remembering all the numbers. Now we don't remember. So you see, all this is affecting the youth. Your attention span, you have to study, your attention span is going down because you feel, okay, let me do some other thing. Your memory is going weak because all the time everything is in the mobile. Some question is asked, then you go into the mobile. So my memory is going weak. Thoughts, it is not just the attention and the memory, it is also affecting your thought process. What do you think? How do you think? Because it's all being controlled by the media. So your thought process, what are you going to think? Because whatever you see, how are your thoughts being made? Your thoughts are not being made just because you think that they can be made. With all the impressions what you're getting from social media, from newspapers, from TV, from outside, everything, they are changing your thought process. So nowadays the thought process is, whatever you do, if you become famous by hook or crook, you are a wonderful person. There's no morality. There are no ethics, because these words are thrown away. No place of these words. Why? We just want to be famous. We just want to be, that's what they call success. So that means, where have we come? Are we actually progressing? Because many times, we don't realize that what we are doing, as I said in the beginning. So the thought process is being affected. Not only that, a feeling for others. Because so much you see, every day you see people dying. Every day you see something happen. Recently, I have seen in the news, especially in India, what we see, many news have started coming. The people are killing their relatives and cutting them into pieces and throwing them away, some piece here, one piece there, or stuffing it in some fridge or something like that. So, can't even imagine heinous things. How people can do, this is something, even to hear this, that, you have your mother, you have your wife, whom you stayed, and you have some fight, and you kill her, and then you cut her into pieces and then throw her. Why? And then not just one incident, it's going on. Why? That thought process has changed, that empathy has gone, that we are not worried about it, because we hear so much. Now you see, if you hear this daily, you don't bother about it. First time when you hear, you get a shock. What? A person killed his wife, cut her into pieces? My God, how can he do that? But then you hear it so many times, and you say, it's okay, what to do? It's going on. Life is like that. So, just imagine what kind of impact we are having. I'm trying to tell, whether we are master or slave, attitudes have changed. Now, these are things I'm sure you may be knowing it, but I'm just reminding you. And it is important that we are reminded of these things, so we take proper action. So our attitudes have changed. Yeah. We have really become too impersonal. Now we don't want to relate to people. We want to relate to media. We want to relate to mobile. We want to relate to sites, not to the people. We don't have time for people. The person can spend hours on Instagram and Twitter or whatever. But if they want to spend time with the parents, if they want to spend time with their dear ones, they don't have time. Why? Because we are very busy with media. Even friends, you feel that you have a lot of friends on Instagram, people are liking you, you send something, they send something, but it's becoming so impersonal. Why you are not meeting and talking? I remember when we were kids, we used to meet, we used to play together, and there was a bond, there was love. Now what is happening? Now it's all, all love, all bonding is only for Instagram, Twitter, social media. That's all. Yeah. So attitude has changed. And isolation. Now this is a major problem which is coming because of this lifestyle. Many of us, I get so many calls, I know so many people, I'm in touch with a lot of youths. What they're finding is that because of this, a life is becoming very isolated. Because initially it's very nice, they go on, but then you're losing touch with everyone. And one day you just find you're all alone. People are committing a lot of blunders because of that. So it's so important. So it goes on, the list goes on. I've just mentioned few effects on memory, on attention, on thought process, on empathy, on attitude, but this goes on. And it's been years now that we have been using, and these all impacts are seeing, and I do not know next 25 years what impact we'll be seeing on this. And that is why when you're not able to handle such pressures, as I said, isolation, people commit suicide. Or then they go on to commit some really, I should say, heinous crimes like rapes. This is all, what is it? Why a person should commit a suicide? You tell me. Why a person should commit a suicide? Because he feels lonely. He feels, I can't share with anyone. What am I going through? In spite of such communication progress, the suicide rate is increasing. If communication would have brought you closer, why will you feel lonely? Why you feel disturbed? And then again, increase of suicide rate is due to social media. Because we hear so many things. Oh, he committed suicide. He committed suicide. Let me also commit suicide. It's the best thing now to save myself. No. So this is impact. So now, after hearing briefly, I'm telling you of this, we can answer this question whether we are master or we are slaves. Actually, we are not master of our life. We are being controlled by others, whether it is social media, whether it is, society or whatever. We are being controlled because everything, I just mentioned, our thought process, our attention, our memory, our attitude, everything is depending on this. That means we are controlled. We are not free. So why am I using the word slave? I could use control, I could use servant. Why am I using slave? Because slave means who has no independence. He is just controlled and he does what the master says. That's all. He has no independence. He cannot do anything. He cannot go anywhere. And that is what is becoming of us. Instead of becoming master of our life, we are slaves of our life, because slaves of such people, we have given our life for such things. Just imagine, what are we giving our life for? Are we giving our life for Krishna? No, we are giving our life for social media. We're giving our life for these. So that's why today's topic, that we need to be master. We don't need to be slaves. We are not born to be slaves. We say we are born in an independent country. But what independence we have if you cannot control your life? So that's why we need to find an important question, answer to an important question. Like it is said, there are 2 great days in a person's life. 2 days, very great. The day we are born and the day we discover why. Taking birth is okay, fine, you've taken birth, which is a good thing. But then to find out why have you taken birth? What is the purpose? That is very important. So the day you discover why, that will be the very important day, that the greatest day, I should say, in your life. Those who have found this, that why are we here? Are we here just to give ourselves to social media? Why are we here just to give ourselves to the world? Or are we here to achieve something, to do something for us? That is an important question we should ask. So when we get the answer, then it's easy for mastering the life or to become a master. So let's see who is a master. Now we are just entering 2023, like 2022 is over and 2023 we are entering. And people are celebrating, right? I'm sure you all must have celebrated Happy New Year or whatever, going out with the friends and this. Now, if you see this picture, it looks very nice, right? This is going from 22 to 23, from one cage to another cage, from one bonding to another bonding. What is changing in 23, you tell me? What is there to celebrate? You celebrated it 22 like that. You celebrated even said 18 like that, 17 like that, 2017, 2018. I'm sure in between, maybe for the COVID, you didn't celebrate 1 year, or maybe you must have, but let's say you did it. What did it change? Did it change your life? So why celebrate? We are going from one cage to another. That's here. We are going from one conditioning to other. That's all. Same thing will continue. In 2023 also will continue to be like that. So how to change it? Now, if you really want to be a master, we are discussing now who can be a master. So if you really want to be a master, who can be a master? Number one who identifies his situation. Here we are seeing, this is the situation of people, 22 to 23. Happily, they are entering another cage. Then again, 23 to 24, happily entering another cage. So first of all, we have to identify our situation. Second, be smart to look for solution. It's not just enough to identify your situation. Okay, I'm in this, I'm happy, or I'm in trouble, or this and that. If you're in trouble, second is be smart to look for solution. And then have courage to be different. Many times in our young age, we feel we are very powerful people. We can change the world. You're not able to change your life itself. Forget about changing the world. Because you don't have courage. I'm sorry if you're feeling bad, but that's the fact. You don't have courage. You see things, they are right, but you're not able to take it up. How many students? I meet so many students. I met few students who were drug addicts. And I was just telling them, come out, and they didn't have the courage. They're not able to give it up. So what is it? Going into drugs, going into wrong things, and feeling, no, this is life. This is not life. This is being covered. You're not able to face the life. So my humble request to all of you is, don't be a coward person. Be courageous. And courage, of course, doesn't mean go on the street and slap someone or go on the street and kill someone. That's not courage. So what is the courage? That try to be different. The whole world is going in one direction. Everyone is saying, okay, this is good, this is good. But you should have the courage that, no, I understand this is right and I'm going to follow it. Don't get carried away by just, whatever people are saying. That's not a master. That's a slave again. Okay, everyone going there, yes, I'm going there. Everyone going there, yes, I'm going there. So try to be master, as I'm saying, not to be the servant. You see, sometimes, but this requires, as I'm saying, this requires doing something courage. But what you see, say sometimes you see a perfect performance of a person. But please understand, behind a few minutes of perfect performance, most likely you'll find a few decades of flawed practices. He practiced and practiced and it was wrong, and again he did it, and again he did it, and then he comes to perfection. So be courageous. See, you see, exposing yourself to challenges makes you challenging. Exposing yourself to wisdom makes you wise. Exposing yourself to fears makes you fearless. So you become what you expose yourself to. So when you're not able to be courageous, when you're not able to take challenges, you'll always remain, a weak person. So we need to be very, very careful. Be courageous. There are many people who can turn blessings into curses. Many people. But only a few can turn curses into blessings. And that's what Srila Prabhupada wanted us to do. To have the best use of a bad bargain. Prabhupada uses this word. Because there are only few who can turn curses into blessings. And that requires courage. So this is an important thing, that you need to change your attitude. In whichever situation you are. Like sometimes you're working very hard, and then what do you say? I'm too tired. So now, let's say, what do you call it as a change of attitude? So you're not tired, you need a rest. Or sometimes we say, I'm different from them. No, you're not different, you're unique. Every one of you. Sometimes a person is, this boy is very stupid. No one is stupid in this world. That means you're not stupid, you're teachable. You need teachings. That's all. So how you look at the life, it is important. Situations are far less terrible than you think. Change your attitude. That's all. That's a very important thing which one has to do. We have to change our attitude. So, have courage to be different. And then walks the path with determination. Now you have a courage, you have done it, you have changed, you have thought that, yes, this is the path I want to go ahead. Why should I be behind? But then walk that path with determination, and that ultimately will lead you to your destination. So these 5 things, please remember in your life. Identify your own situation. And I did that in a very brief way just in the beginning of this presentation. That what are we? Are we master or are we slave? Then be smart to look for solution. Have courage to be different. And walk on the path with determination. You will achieve your perfect destination. So where are we? What is our situation? Many times, as I said, we just want to go on with the life. But what is life? Who's defining what is life? There is a definition of death that said absence of life is death. But what is life? Where is it defined? The definition of life is given in the scriptures. And we go on taking one life after another, one body after another, changing. Now, this is identifying our situation. Where are we? We are not controller. We are controlled completely because we are forced to take one body after another. We have to stop this. And even when you take a body, you are troubled so many times. Like here you can see there is a person, let's say if a person has 5 wives, and one wife is saying, I want this, other is saying, I want this, did you get this, did you get that? And this is what is happening with us. Our eyes need something else, our ears want something else, our nose wants something else, our skin wants something else. and they're all pulling us. And we just go on giving them their food. And that is what our life is. So what you should do in your life is try to find something which is the best path. Because let's say there was a carpenter. I'll tell you a nice story about him. There was a carpenter. He was working for a master, for a owner, and he worked for many years. And now he was quite old. So he thought, let me retire. I've worked enough. I don't need to work now. So he goes to his owner. He goes to his boss and says, "Boss, I'm done. So I don't want to come from tomorrow. It's enough. I've worked for you for so many years, and now I just want to relax." So he was working on a house. The boss said, just complete this house and then you can go, no problem. So he felt very bad. He said, I've worked for him for so many years. Now I want to go, and he still wants me to work. But anyway, because he said he didn't want to say no, so he continued. But his heart was not there. So he made this house, he made it in a very, very low quality way. He was not putting his heart. So earlier, all his houses which he made was very high quality. But here, this house, because anyway, he had to go. So he thought, why should I put my heart in? Anyway, I have to go. So he just, made it not in a very opulent way or something, very simple, with using all sorts of, low quality material and this and that. So finally, he completed the house and he went to give the keys to the owner. Okay, I've completed the house. So this is it. And the master, the boss, said, when he was handing over the key to him, he took the key and gave it back to him. He said, this is my gift to you. Keep this house. And this is what I wanted. That's why I asked you to work. And this person was thinking, my God, if I knew in advance that I'm making my own house, how I would have worked. He didn't know that. He was thinking, another house. So he was just using all. But now he realized, oh my God, making my own house. And how careful I should have been, how, what kind of materials I should have used. So he gave it as a gift. Now our life is like that. Every day we are making our own house. And we need to be very careful and use high quality material for making this house of life. So be very careful. Every day we are making our new life. So what are some of the things that we can do? Be very proactive. Don't wait for the things to happen so that you change. To changing your mindset is very important, because mind plays, devil's role. So don't let mind, go anywhere else. Be proactive. That means don't wait. Like that story, a person was taking out the car from the parking lot, and then this boy hits with a brick, and then, the windscreen is smashed. And this guy comes out and shouts at the boy, small boy, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? And this. And so this boy points out to his brother, who was on a wheelchair and somehow had fallen and he didn't have the strength. And he said, I'm trying to stop the cars, but they're going at such a high speed. Nobody is stopping. So what to do? I have to throw a brick. So this is there. Don't let the situations throw bricks at you that you start thinking, what am I supposed to do now? Be proactive. Change your mind. Mind is really very important. And that's why we should engage our mind in the thoughts of the Lord. A very nice example of that. There was a person he was an advocate. He was rushing out to go to the court. And, he used to wear turban. So he was rushing, getting late. So he was just tying the turban. Somehow when he came out of the house, the turban fell down. And now he was trying to collect, and it went all around, and he was trying to collect and trying to tie it. He was not able to tie. So then he was looking around and he saw there was a lamppost, and the dome of the lamp was almost the same size of his head. So he went there and he tied the turban. nicely. And the turban was tight there. And then he took and he could place it on his head and then went. So now this story gives us a very nice teaching. That, this person was trying to tie the turban means he was trying to control his mind. He was not able to do that. But then, there is this lamppost or there's this doom. It's like, seeing the Lord, what we see the Lord in our temples. So when you put your mind on the Lord, when you fix your mind on the Lord, it becomes so easy. The turban was easily tied. So it becomes so easy to control. And if you're not, then you go on doing, the turban will be all around, the mind will be going all around, and you have seen that. So you need to change your mindset. For that, you need to plan and take action. And what kind of thinking? It should be positive thinking. Like sometimes it is said, okay, some spiritual activity and say, no, I cannot do it. No, be very positive. Why you cannot? You can accomplish anything in life. Why not? If others have done it, why you cannot do it? It's just thought process. So you need to do it. You need to set goals for your success. And for that, you need a very important thing is to cultivate good character traits. Please understand, even if you are successful, even if you have a lot of money, even if you are famous, but if you do not have a character, then you are not considered a good person. People may like you for your money. People may like you for your fame. People may not like you for what you are. People should like you for what you are. And what is it that you are? It's a character that makes you. Of course, I know in nowadays, character, nobody bothers. Everyone bothers about money. Like, earlier it was said that if money is lost, nothing is lost. Health is lost, something is lost. Character is lost, everything is lost. But nowadays it has changed. If character is lost, nothing is lost. Health is lost, something is lost. Money is lost, everything is lost. So they've just turned it around. So no, we should be very, very careful because it is the character that makes a person. You are known by your own character. And how do you define a character of a person? Not how he behaves in public, but how he behaves when he is alone. That defines his character. Because in public, we are very good. But then when we are when we are alone, what we are doing. Then get your diet right. You should be very, very careful about what you eat because that is affecting your mind. So you need to exercise your body, obviously, to keep it fit. At the same time, exercise of the mind. That is, the best exercise in current time is to chant the holy name, to come closer to God. So you should have a balance of spiritual and material life. So it's not that you just perform spiritual activities and nothing else. And it's not that you just perform your material. Have a balance. Both the things are required. Spiritual life is required to keep your mind on the right track, to keep your consciousness on the right track. And material activities are required so that you can be all right or perfect or happy in this world, and then you can progress towards the goal of your life. So both the things are required. So this is, I would like to say that you have the key to your life in your hand, and it's up to you to unlock your full potential to lead a great life. So everything is in your hand. How you look at the life and how you take the challenges, how much courage you have, determination, that's all up to you. So please do not give up to the temptations of life where you become slaves, but be the master of your life. Shape your life. Think where I want to be 20 years from now. How do I want people to see me after 20 years? Plan accordingly and go ahead, and definitely you will be successful. Thank you very much. I pray to Lord Krishna that he bless you with peace and happiness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So as I had mentioned, I'll try to keep it brief. I hope I kept it quite brief. So now I'll be happy if there are any questions or comments or any of you wish to say something.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Excellent presentation to derive at the final step, concluding with balanced material and spiritual life, Prabhuji. So much. Let's hear from the youth. See, if you youth have a questions, please raise your hand and I will take Mataji or Prabhuji to take questions from our listeners. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Mataji, to you.
Hari Bol Prabhuji, amazing session. Today's every session which will be taken by you is by natural is amazing. So amazing session, Prabhuji. I request to Pradumna Prabhuji to say something. Hare Krishna, Pradumna Prabhuji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranam, Atul Krishna Prabhu ki jai ho. Prabhuji, very nice topic you choose, and you have explained our life, to everybody, individual goal and what they have master plan and whether we are master or slave. Just this is for, I can say as a joking, that you said be a courageous. I understand we should be courageous, certainly. But in ISKCON and in this bhakti, what we learn is other way, dasanudas,
Well, that requires courage, Prabhu, in the current world. That requires courage to be dasa because everyone wants to be bossanu boss.
Yes. No, thank you, Prabhu. Just this is the thoughts. Hare Krishna.
I feel that devotees are most courageous people on the planet because they have the courage. Thank you for bringing this. Actually, as I said, I could not explain the whole thing, but grateful that you brought this up. That we need the courage to accept our situation, that what we are doing is not right and we need to take a different path. Exactly. And we need to be very, very courageous in spiritual life to accept that, we are servants. We are not masters.
Right. Right. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Radhe.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I think I'm seeing one hand.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful session. And yes, you're absolutely right that we are not the masters, we are the slave for at least electronic gadgets and technology. And like as Harila Prabhuji said, that we started with that difference between master and slave, and we concluded at balancing between spiritual and master material life. And that will be like you briefly describe the whole journey, but that is there are lots of dots that are connecting to each other. So I think as per I am assuming that youth will be able to connect those dots. Let's hear from the youths now. So I see Lalita Mataji has raised her hand. So Mataji, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question or provide your realization if you have any?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Nice, wonderful session. My question is that personal question. Parents want to do a job. Is it right for mother do job do your duty? Something question need.
Your question is that if it is required to do a job, is it right for a lady to do a job or no, right? Is that the question? Okay. So, I mean, I'll once again confirm. Mataji, is that the question or you have anything else?
Yes, Prabhu. I have this question. Some people need clarification.
Okay.
Because Mataji's duty is so many, but which type of duty I necessary, I need.
Very nice. Thank you. It depends on the situation where we are. So, in the life we are going, if it is required and if it is helping us achieve our goal, then there is no harm. But in general, if it is not required, why only for Mataji's? Why Prabhuji's also should work? My question is that, why do we work? We work to fill our belly. So suppose Krishna has given you enough, then you need not work. But if it is not, then you'll have to work. So working or no working. Of course, Vedic tradition, Vedic system says generally the men work, women at home, and they also work. It is just called division of labor. There is nothing like why women cannot work or why women should work. It's just, how it is divided like a system. A company runs. So in the company, certain people are given, say, some are in the sales, some are in the administration, some are in the accounts. Now, accounts people cannot say, oh, why I'm not allowed to go out? I should also just go out every day. And sales people shouldn't say, because it's just division. Similarly, the Vedic tradition, it divides. Okay, men can do this, women can do this, children can do that, just to run the society smoothly, and which is perfect. Our Vedic tradition is perfect. But then when there is a requirement and there is a need, then obviously things change. You see, generally in Varnashram, a person doesn't change his position. A Brahmana remains a Brahmana, Kshatriya remains a Kshatriya. But when there was an emergency, so Parshuram being a Brahmana, he became a Kshatriya. But then when there was no emergency, he gave it up. He again became a Brahmana. He just stopped fighting. So wherever there is a requirement, whatever helps us, because if you are not able to live materially well, it will become difficult for you to do your spiritual life also very, nicely. Say, for example, if somebody is suffering with, somebody has some financial issues, then all the time, even while chanting, he'll be thinking about that. So it is better, as I said, balance. Balance is required. It's not that we go on working so much that we forget Krishna. Or it's not that, you're just doing everything and, you're neglecting your house, you're neglecting your duties. That is not spiritual life. Balance. So that, because this body is a vehicle, if you keep the vehicle proper, then you can achieve the destination. But if you don't keep the vehicle properly, then even to reach spiritual destination will become difficult. That is why Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he says that one should first take care of his health, and then about spiritual practices. So it depends on the situation. I will suggest wherever you are, if you can discuss with your seniors there, depending on the situation, they can guide you very well. Does that answer your question, Mataji? Thank you. I see Mihika.
Yeah, Mihika, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I like the points that you said about how social media and all the technology that has technically improved. We think that we're the master because we have so many gradual improvements, but technically all of those social media and all of those improvements led to our degradation for memory, attitude, and attention and more. So, Prabhuji, I have one question. So, how do we balance our spiritual life and material life? How do you do that together in one day?
Very nice. Thank you for asking such a nice question, Mihika. Yes, so how do you balance your life? That is important. And, you have your, say, studies or whatever responsibilities, at the same time, family, and then, spiritual life. First of all, you should prioritize your activities. At every stage of life, our priorities go on changing. Say, for example, now you are a student, right? Are you studying right now? Yes. So you are a student. Now, as a student, what is your priority? Your priority should not be just to go and visit Himalayas. Isn't it? Yes, that's not your priority. So your priority is studies, because through the studies, you will be able to, achieve a lot of things. And right now, that is what is expected from you. So that is priority. So you should prioritize your activities, studies, playing, and going out, meeting friends, etc. But then in that, we should also have spiritual life. So you should keep it not at a very low level. Okay, after meeting friends, everything, if I have time, then studies are top priority. And as I said, balance. So then the second should come, that for the studies, what do you require? As I said, for the studies, you require a balanced mind, focused mind. You're reading some book, you're doing your studies, and your mind is, okay, should I do this? Okay, let me wait for 5 minutes, I'll take a walk and then I'll study. And like that, you waste your time. You're not able to study focusedly. So what you require is a focused mind. So the second priority is to have a focused mind, so that I can fulfill my first priority. But how to have that focused mind? There you come the spiritual life. Because mind cannot be focused by any external thing. Mind is an internal thing. So you cannot, have some gadget. Okay, put it in the mind, put it on the head. Now your mind is controlled. Nothing like that. So then spiritual life comes. So you are actually doing everything for your priority, top priority. But to help that, you require the spiritual life. So then what happens? You think, okay, I have to focus my mind, so I have to devote some time daily for this. Minimum, because you may have your tuitions, you may have your classes, or you may have whatever assignments, whatever you have to do. But then you need to devote. So what you can do, earlier also I remember I had said, you can make a schedule of the whole day. What time you get up and what time you sleep. In between, you must give time for spiritual practices which will help you to focus your mind so that you can study. You see, if your mind is focused, what will you study in half an hour will be more than, more powerful than what you study for 2 hours. So if your mind is not focused, you'll keep sitting with the book for 2 hours and trying to do this, nothing will come. And when you go for the exam, you'll be blank. You don't know what I read it, but I don't recollect it. But if your mind is focused, then just half an hour of it and will be enough. It will go into your memory. So spiritual practices help the information which you take to retain it in the memory part. See, like you see devotees giving lecture, they quote so many verses, right? From Bhagavatam, from Bhagavad Gita. How do they remember all this? It's difficult, right? Because we have not read Sanskrit from beginning. And now to quote Sanskrit verses, and that too from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita here and there. Why? Because their spiritual practices help them, help the mind to retain the information. So we give importance to spiritual life not because we want to be religious, not because we are belonging to some community, so we have to do. Like in India, children are told, "Oh, you're supposed to worship, you're supposed to do puja." Why am I supposed to do? If a child asks, "But bus, you're a Hindu, you're supposed to do." Actually, spiritual life is not like that. Spiritual life we do for ourselves. So I'm following chanting, I'm doing chanting, I'm reading something, Bhagavad Gita or whatever, so that I can focus my mind on my goal. So what you can do, as I said, the first thing, prioritize your activities. The top priority is study. Second, to achieve that or to support that, I need a focused mind. And for a focused mind, I need to perform spiritual activities. Then after that, the priority comes is that, of course, mind also gets help when you engage yourself in some other activity like playing, going out, That also is required. It's not that you can close yourself in one room and you will be, mind will be focused. So then next those priorities come. Now, based on these priorities, you design your day schedule. That what will I do? And try to stick to it. If you make it nicely, and if you stick to it even 50 to 60%, you're not able to follow 100%. Say, suppose, for example, you have written, I'll get up at 5 o'clock, I'll study, I'll go to school, whatever it is. And you're not able to get up at 5 o'clock all the time. But at least 50%, that means 15 days in a month also, if you're able to follow that, you will achieve a lot of success. So this is important. Mihika, you can do that. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, very much.
Will you follow it? Will you make a schedule?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You can send me a copy of your schedule. I'll refine it for you.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mihika. Next, Shreya Mataji, can you please go unmute yourself and go ahead with your question?
Sure. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Wonderful lecture, master your own life. So I had a question regarding that. So right now I'm currently in a job, and I'm practicing spirituality as well along with it. So my question is, I'm not happy with my job. I don't feel that my job is purposeful, and I want to do something which makes me happy, or something which I can connect with, or something which makes me feel that that is meaningful. Now I have different mind blocks. I'm trying to find out what I like, but I'm 28, so now I don't know whether it's appropriate to change the career at this age. So I tried the career personality test as well, but didn't work that much as I expected. So how do I clear this confusion, and where do I start from? Because there are so many options, but it just confuses me. And honestly, the more I am into this, I feel that I don't like to be in a corporate world. So it's just
what you can do. Thank you for such a nice question. And yeah, these are the challenges, confusions, how to come out of such thing. So what you can do is you write down all your likings. Okay, this is what my liking towards. This is my, in terms of work, I'm saying. You may have personal likings, that is different. In terms of work, because now your confusion is about work, not about personal life as such more. So write down your liking and then try to zero on. Okay, maybe you write down 10. So out of 10, you find out which you feel is the most important. And then like that, 4, 5 will come. Like that, 2, 3. So at least find out 2 of them. Forget about what job you're doing. Don't bring that right now in that, or what you want to do. Just your likings. Say, for example, I'm just giving an example. You are in accounts department, for example, and you don't like that accounts. But do you feel that if I'll be in sales, I'll be good? Sometimes you feel, no, if I'll be in, if I take up my own business, I'll be better. Or if I go into catering, I'll be better because I'm good at cooking or whatever. So then first you write down your liking, maybe 5, 6, 7, 10. Then try to zero on 1 or 2, you get it. And then you match it with your work. Is it actually going ahead, going through? And if it is matching, then you should think that this is just your mind playing. Sometimes the mind plays, because you see so many other people and then you get temporarily affected, and then, mind plays. But if your likings are actually, you can say completely opposite to what you're doing, then you should start thinking that, okay, what can I do with such liking? So at least with this, you will have a fixed area. Okay, this is where I have to do. Then the next question will come, whether at this time you should change or you should just continue. So that depends on your situation, because sometimes you may require it. You don't like it, but you require it. You cannot give it up. So in that case, to give it up and to be in trouble is not, unless you are totally dependent on Krishna, so that Krishna will take care. That's then one can just give it up. But otherwise, you need to be practical and find things that whether I can, if I give it up at this time, whether it will help me or it will put me in deep trouble. And then whatever is there right now, my simple spiritual practices, that also I cannot take. So that you should find. And if it is possible and workable and you can change, but you should take good guidance. Because you see, if you do it all alone and then somehow it doesn't work later, then further maybe you'll go in depression that what's happening, I made a mistake and this. We don't want that. So take proper guidance. And then, but for all this, before doing all this, because right now the mind is so flickering, even if you try to write down, you will not have proper, likings. That's the thing right now with you. So what you should do to make your mind strengthen first. So what you're doing, continue to do your job, but at the same time, try whatever practices you're doing, try increasing your chanting for next 15 days. Because what happens is, see, I'm telling you that you need to like. Now you need to be guided by the Paramatma who's inside, right? How do you guide? I mean, if I just say, sit down today and say, oh, Paramatma, please guide me. He's not going to guide you. Why will he guide you? You never bothered about him for so long. Now you're going to him. Why will he bother? Isn't it? So then for next 15 days, you just focus on your chanting. Even if you're doing very little, go on increasing it as much as you can. This is not as a spiritual practice, but as a medicine. Like you see, when you're sick, what do you do? The doctor, whatever he gives you, whether you like it or you don't like it, you take it. So this is as a medicine. For next 15 days, just chant. And as much as you can with your job or whatever time you're getting, try to give it to that. And you will see after 15 days, your mind will be ready to take some decision. This is the power of chanting. Because what is chanting? It's mantra, manatrayate. It is directly having effect on mind. It's not having effect on body, right? We don't chant that, okay, tomorrow I'll be very beautiful or something like that. We chant that because mind should be powerful. So you chant, and after 15 days, you do this exercise, which I told you just now. So then you will yourself find thing. And then you should take some guidance. Where are you staying? Which part? And
So I'm currently in USA, Ohio.
Yeah, so maybe you may have some association of some very senior devotees. So then after 15 days of chanting and doing this exercise, then before you finalize, discuss with them. I'm sure you'll get the solution very soon.
Sure. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Anyone else has any questions? I don't think that Prabhuji that there is no more hand raised now. So yeah, but Prabhuji, the class was very wonderful, and I think youth will definitely able to seek help or take help from this type of lectures. And our request from Parsarthi Foundation is that you can come very frequently and give your enlightening views and perspective to the youth, so that they can basically balance out between their spiritual and material life. Because main mojo of today's topic was the last line, that we have to be balanced out between our spiritual and material life.
I'm sorry, I would like to come quite often, but not to speak, but to hear from Hari Leela Prabhu. I heard he's a wonderful speaker, and then of course we have Prabhu. So whenever they are speaking, you send me a message, I'll come and join and hear. No problem.
Yeah, Prabhuji, that is one thing. Yeah, but yeah, yes, we will definitely do that, Prabhuji, and definitely do that. But yeah, our request to you that you also please come and enlighten us with such type of topics, which is gradually increasing our culture, means cultivating thoughts and those things. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. If you allow me, can we wind up this call?
Yes, please. Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
Prabhuji, for guiding our youth. And your request, like Amit Prabhu said, that we always wish and request that you try to come often to guide our youth. Yeah.
I'll follow your orders, Prabhu. Whenever you offer, I'll be here at your service.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hey,
One-
Krishna Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya
Sindhubhya.
Thank you all youth, and I hope you will continue listening on our Parsarthi platform. Hare Krishna to all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.